Bear from ledge? No.
Oh!
I'm different.
You are different. Shoot.
All right.
Clean.
So I was gonna say, one of the things that is also kind of hindering you, and this is actually what you wrote in your metafy, is not necessarily going for the clip or overextending, but also just not really being aware of the context of the game, where it's like, okay, you're clearly up, and if you're just playing to play, that's fine. But if you want to, let's say, abuse your lead or abuse your percent or your stocks, the fact that you have more stocks than me in some situations there, stay a little bit more passive. I'm not saying do nothing, and I'm not saying don't ledge trap, right? You still want to be oppressive, so if I make a mistake, I'm getting punished for it, but you don't have to be the aggressor and push in on me when you have a lead, and I have to do something about it, right? Of course,
Yeah, you were just sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
I chased you down and I had the lead.
I can say, of course, here's the thing, is if there's a ton of time left, I don't have to try and chase you down immediately. But if you have some balance throughout the game, you can go from, let's say, relatively aggressive at the beginning, then have a bit of a lull or be a bit more passive in the middle, and then you can dictate the pace for the rest of the game, because now the pressure's on me to make a comeback when the time is against me. If you have the capabilities to 3-stock someone, then of course go ahead. But if you're up by a bit, you should be treating your percent as if it's gold. If you're up by 23%, keep that. If you have projectiles, you have disjoints. And you have strength and a great out of shield. So if I had to jump on you and figure you out, I should be losing because of me making mistakes, not you making mistakes.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a mentality change I need to make.
One of the biggest things is if you go into tournaments, you should be thinking to yourself, you're not trying to win as many sets as you possibly can. You're trying to not lose 2 sets. It sounds like the same thing. I remember you
saying that in one of your videos. Yeah.
And it stands true, right? So ultimately, like, yeah, let's say if you go to a super major and you win, or you go on loser side or whatever, and you win like 9 sets, but you end up losing, it's like, well, of course it's a great showing. If you go 9-2, that's still phenomenal, right? But you still want to win the whole tournament. That's the idea. Of course, a super major would be pretty wild, but let's just say like a regular tournament. Let's say you end up going like 6-0, and that's the tournament, or like 7-1 or something, and that's how you win the tournament. That's much better. As far as it ends up being the same thing, but as far as the mentality, you don't want to think to yourself, oh, I won however many sets, but then it's like you got to the very end of grand finals and you got trounced. It's like, that's hopefully not what happens. That's hopefully not what you want to have happen either. Do whatever it takes to make sure you don't lose. Let's put it that way. Do whatever it takes to make sure you don't lose. If that means winning barely, then win barely. Don't try and win with style if you can't. End of the day, if it's an ugly win, it's still a win. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I feel like it's all this mentality. I spend a lot of time, like, I guess, theory crafting strategy, and then when it comes down to applying it, I mean, I think it'll just take more time, of course. But that's kind of what this is. What I was hoping is, just getting some higher level input on, game theory, I guess.
I think another way we could put this too is if we were to play, let's say if we were to grind out for the next 50 minutes right now and just not talk, we just sweat it out. I'd much rather have you win, let's say 7 games, and we played a total of 8 games, versus us playing like 20 games and you lose half.
Why is that? Why do you say that?
Because there's no point in rushing through games and just losing, is what I'm saying. Right. So if we play 20 games and you go 10-10, for example, that's not nearly as good as let's say playing 10 games and going 8-2. It's not about racking up games. That's not the point of practicing. It's not racking up games and getting mileage on your controller, basically. That's not really, like, it is practice, but effective practice is being able to have the consistency of constantly winning or being unbeatable. So if we had to, like, let's say drag out each game, but you always win, that's what you want, right? Yeah. Versus saying, oh, I got a chance to play with me, and you played 40 games and lost 30. But we played 40 games. It's like, no, I'd rather play 10 and have you win all of them because you tried super hard. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Instead of just going balls to the wall, take the trades.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, if we're working on like risk management or going for stock trades or something that actually, I wouldn't say requires dying, but it's going to happen just by default, or like edge guarding and potentially messing it up, then that's different. But if we're trying to play for the sake of passive play and mentality and ultimately just trying to win as much as we possibly can, then don't be afraid to have games go down to the final minutes or seconds if that's what it takes. If we're playing a grueling neutral, right? You don't have to be camp till the end of the game, but play to not lose. let's get out of this game, and then we'll fight in the next one. I think a big part of this too is this will shape your decision making a lot to say, okay, is this worth going for? As far as if it goes right, can actually benefit from this more than, let's say, if it goes wrong, is it a huge mistake? Like, let's say jumping off stage and potentially winning the game, or jumping off stage, well, let's say you have me at 140 and you're at 20 and you could get reversed. Or we both die, right? Both of us dying and I'm at 140 and you're at 20. That's worth it for me.
Right. Yeah, and that's totally that's a mistake I've made constantly. You know, like edge guarding to 0% and then you get spiked.
Yeah, or footstool by accident on purpose.
Right. That could have been a scenario. That's like an extreme example. Yeah. But I think less extreme examples happen all the time in my gameplay.
Like even when you refer that down tilt up B, it's like, okay, if you catch me with that, I'm not going to die. But then you died.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Dang, bro.
There it is.
That's all good. So, of course, you had like a half SD at the beginning when you missed your first bomb recovery tech.
That bomb recovery, yeah.
You could also be going for the high recovery with that as well. If you feel safer going for the tech to make sure that I can't catch you, like you tech, then you up B, or you tech, and like air dodge to the ledge or something like that, that's okay. On this stage, though, sometimes you can absolutely get finessed by going under the stage by accident.
That's true.
I can say this as well, that if you happen to go high, it is extremely hard for me to know exactly where you're going to go and just throw out like a spike or a nair and just catch you. Like, that's just basically impossible. And even if I catch you, sometimes if you're traveling fast enough, your hitbox of like your launch trajectory will go through my spike. I've had that happen before.
Would you recommend almost only using nair unless there's like a clear punish? Because I guess that was the biggest thing when I watch other links, I feel like nair is the go-to, and then they'll use other tools when it's more guaranteed. But in ambiguous situations, they are almost only using nair, and I usually go for back air 1 just because I can hit those combos more. But I've noticed that nair might be more consistent. I guess, would you recommend even going for the back air 1 for combos, or do you feel like it's a little bit, I guess nair is just more reliable?
With regards to using back air 1, I would be using that if I see that my opponent has a spot dodging habit, or if they have a dash grab or dash attack habit as far as how they are approaching me. If you can figure out, let's say if they have one of those things, let's say if we're like in a I don't know, a weird situation where maybe I go for like a dash attack and I miss and I immediately spot dodge, right? If you see that, that's when you go for back air 1, and you can get a combo of some sort off of that. To just do it over and over again, like a Joker fair 1 type of thing, and just do this over and over, it's just not safe enough, and it's a hit confirm as well, where it's like if you get back air 1 only, it's not good. You have to do that into up tilt, into up B, into up smash, into a rising back air, 100%. So nair in that case would be much better, because if you accidentally get, let's say, sweet spot or sour spot, and you didn't actually want one over the other, it just kind of happened as far as you tap them away, you're going to get yourself positioning at the very least, right? And you can always use that as link. You can have time to pull out a bomb. You can try and set something up. You can get different stage control depending on where you are. So if you're in the corner and you're throwing out nair, you just want to get them away from you. It's much safer than trying to get like back air 1 into like a forward tilt, or back air 1 into up tilt, or into rising back air. As far as just your baseline foundation for your neutral, I would say nair is going to be your best bet. However, there are some things you want to use around your nair. Okay, so first things first with your nair, just come right here. Let's say you're going to go for your nair. I want you to try and space it outside of my shield, so that if I feel I have any room to try and retaliate in any way, you can also throw out a further reaching hitbox. Let's say, for example, you boomerang or your fair. I wouldn't land and go for down tilt unless you know I'm going to like try and grab your nair. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be trying to grab your nair though. If I notice that you are going for like nair down tilt immediately, I might be able to grab your down, or I might be able to grab you before down tilt comes out, but I have to be very, very sure, because if you space your nair in front of me and you hit my shield but you don't actually hit me, if I throw out a grab like this, and that's super free. You can be doing landing nair into F smash, landing nair into literally whatever you want. However, with your nair, like I said, I will say for the most part, nair is a good poking tool, but it's also a smokescreen tool or a misdirection tool, where it's like you're gonna throw it out to give me something to be worried about, but you're not really trying to land it. You'd rather see what I'm going to do to try and deal with your nair. Am I trying to jump at you and hit you? Am I going to just shield and let you, let's say, land with nair and then throw something out like down tilt or something I don't know, down tilt or jab, and then I'm going to punish the attack that comes after. Or am I going to, like, let's say, just jump away? If that's what I'm going to do, let's say if I go for let's say I try and punish your nair by trying to grab it, right? You could be going for a wave bounce boomerang and coming down with that, and then also getting like boomerang into fair. You could be coming down if I miss a grab. It could be forward tilt. It could be like standing boomerang on the ground. It could be all kinds of stuff, right? And if I am jumping as well, you can do like landing nair into rising nair, right? Or you can go like landing nair into rising fair. So as I jump to escape you, you hold forward with fair and you catch me with horrendous DI. I really want to hit this home as far as even playing very passively or very patiently, I guess you could say, is with your nair. Feel free to throw it out as many times as you want to, as long as you're throwing it out safely. There's no mana on nair. You can use it as much as you want, right? So if you throw it out infinitely or as many times as you want to, and you notice that every time you throw it nair and you get close to me, I shield and then I like drop shield and run. Or I shield and then I try and like hit you. Or I shield and then I jump away. Or maybe I don't shield. I try and like crouch underneath there. I try and up tilt. As soon as you see what I'm going for, let's say you go for nair in front of me and I go like for up tilt right here, you can come down and while I'm stuck in my up tilt, like I said, it's another forward tilt. Or you can come down with fair or a boomerang. So your primary move, and I've talked to another player about this, a video is going to be coming up pretty soon. I called this concept flip in, flip out. And what that is starting with one move and then changing your second move to try and keep your opponent guessing as to what your pattern is. Let's say I always see you come down with nair. I think nair is the first part, which would be the flip in. And then out of it, you go from nair into rising nair. So if I'm expecting nair into rising nair, I'm going to stay in shield, wait for the rising nair, and then punish that because you can't instantly do something out of a rising aerial. So if I see that, let's say you go for nair, and then I think you're going to do rising nair, you could be coming down with nair into grab, right? To try and punish me out of shield, or while I'm staying in shield. And then if I start to get caught for that, if I see you landing nair and I'm expecting grab, I could be going shield, then spot dodge, or shield and then jump to get away from your grab. In which case now I can go nair into rising fair or nair into forward tilt or boomerang. So that first attack is always, or should always be nair, and they're going to stem off of that.
I honestly just think I go for back air one too often, more as shield pressure, like this, or maybe I don't know if you would call nair on shield pressure, but
definitely
in a similar way,
100%.
In a similar way as I just think the risk reward is way higher. But I just wanted to get a little bit of your thoughts. But yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Working around how they react on off the nair.
I also want to say this too, with regards to shield pressure, and a lot of players just don't think of it this way at all. Pressuring someone's shield does not necessarily mean hitting their shield. Pressuring someone's shield is making someone feel like they should be shielding. That's all it really is. So if you've noticed, and I'm sure this is very obvious, but a lot of people don't take this into consideration as a thing, but if I just hold shield, my shield goes down, obviously. So even if you're not hitting me, but you're threatening that space to say, if I jump, something bad's going to happen. If I drop shield, something bad's going to happen. Just because your physical presence is in front of me and you're throwing out nair or fair or whatever you're throwing out, that's still shield pressure because I'm not doing anything other than shielding. And my shield health is going down. That's huge to know. I do this all the time with Pyra, where I'll do like falling up airs in front of someone, and they're just shielding, then I come down with a neutral B and I'll break their shield. Or I'll F smash and I'll break their shield. Because they're just sitting here waiting and they're scared. And there's like, it's a timer, right? Think of shield as a timer.
Do you ever go for, let's say you were doing that same thing, just falling up airs, and then the second you see the shield poke on their toes, do you go for the down tilt, or is that not very reliable?
For Falco specifically? It depends on what I'm looking for. If it's going to be like a shield poking scenario, I'd typically go for fair, because fair does shield poke at the top and the bottom. So if the shield's low enough, if I just jump at you in fair, I'll either hit you in the head or I'll hit you in the feet. So you as the player have to be cracked out of your mind to shield tilt up and then down. Like that's just never happening. So like that's a very foreign thing to go for. So fair would be much more reliable. If somebody was shield tilting down against, like, let's say I'm like falling up there, down tilt, and you shield tilted against that, then I'm probably going to lose the entire set because you're a god. Because no one thinks about that shit. I promise
no
you.
One's
yeah, not like that at least. So up on platforms, people do it all the time when they go down like this. It just makes common sense. But in neutral, no one does that. So
yeah,
I would say as far as the shield damage that I'm looking for, like I'll go for like falling up airs, and I'll see if you try and like, let's say, punish me immediately. So I'll go like falling up air spot dodge, falling up air, then I'll like slingshot away or something. I'll go like falling up air into shield. So if you're trying to like up B, I can go like this into shield. In theory, I should have 2 frames to get that shield out, before your up B comes out. I could also go like this and just
Right.
jump immediately, right? Or go like this and like jump
Yeah.
away. And if I can do that against like your up B or your up smash, then I'm gonna do that because then I can come back down and get another punish. Okay?
Yeah.
So the pressure for me is not really to try and hit you out of shield or like break your shield with Falco, but more so if I get like a falling up air and you notice every time you go for something out of shield, I go falling up air, up tilt, and I catch you, or falling up air, then I jump away and now you're stuck just like swinging at nothing, right? Like doing like an up smash and they're not even close to you. If you stay in shield and now you're scared, I'll go for falling up air to grab. So the falling up air is to make you see like the first part of the flip in, right? So flip in, and then flip out would be grab. That's just a concept that you can try to drill in with your own character as much as you like. And I can say with back air, it would be useful to start going for like falling back air, like bear 1 and turn around grab, because I think back air's -3 on shield, frame 6 -3. And if you get this, if people are like expecting, oh, he's gonna go for falling back air, up tilt or up smash or up B, I'm just gonna stay in shield. If you get cracked enough to get this and to turn around grab, they're gonna let you grab, especially if you have been catching them with falling bear 1 into the up tilt, up smash, or up B, or rising back air.
Right.
So it boils down to you really paying attention to your opponent and seeing how they react or interact with you throwing out certain moves. If they just don't care and they get hit, then just take the hit, right? If you're gonna get that into up tilt and they're not staying in shield, then do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.